we've got Alfie Houdet and Gordon Reid, both Brits, as the top seeds at the very top of the draw. Looking forward to watching them play later after this one. So they're all set, and the warm-up's just coming to conclusion. A few serves will be struck, and these guys will get the action underway. But as I say, Anna, it really does feel a little different, doesn't it, for these guys? You know, just so many changes. But of course, they're versatile. Their games transition well across all surfaces. But they really will have to adapt quickly here, because the ball on indoor, as we know, shoots through quite a lot quicker. You obviously don't have the resistance of the breeze outside or the checking on the grass slightly. It's very quick and slick indoors, and these indoor courts at Queen's, well, you and I know, Anna, they get played on a lot, don't they, because of our British weather. So as they get played on a lot, they get worn out a lot and become quite smooth and ice-like almost in their speed. So when the serve lands, it does tend to bolt through really quickly.
It does. I think they're going to have to try and find that timing, but hopefully they've managed to practice a little bit indoors. We saw a couple of the players getting to warm up, so hopefully they're getting used to the conditions, and hopefully this is just for the day that they're going to be playing inside.
Yeah, so the most experienced man on court is Stefan Houdet, just reversing there, serving from the top right. 18 slam titles in doubles. That's quite a coup, isn't it? I think he was a scratch golfer as well, wasn't he, before he turned his attention to tennis. Really talented guy. Lots of children as well. A big family. Very busy. But Egbrink and Fernandez, well, they're playing just their third tournament together, and their first since 2013. A combination that used to play since back in 2009. But things move on. Fernandez has shared a lot of court time with Kunieda over the years as well, the esteemed Japanese. But these guys all know each other's games inside out. That's what makes it really quite fascinating, isn't it, Anna? That you know, they are familiar foes on tour a lot, and it's a very friendly world, isn't it? The wheelchair world. There's a lot of camaraderie. They see a lot of each other, and there's just generally a lovely, warm, family type of vibe amongst them all. Very supportive. And of course, given what they've been through in sort of former years with injuries and what have you, you know, it's hard times of hopefully been and gone, and they have a great sense of perspective on tennis. So format for this then, this men's doubles semi-final, it's best of 3 sets, but the third set will be, if they do split the first 2 sets, a match tiebreak, first to 10, or champions tiebreak as some call it, if they do go 1 set all. So looking forward to this then, the first of our 3-day blockbuster of men's wheelchair action here from Queen's Club in London. It's going to be Gustavo Fernandez to get us underway. Well, that clatter, for those of you unfamiliar, that is the racket obviously just clattering around the rim of the wheel. You hear that quite a lot after serves. Always enjoy watching Gustavo play though, don't we, Anna?
I just love seeing the pace that he's able to generate. Like you said in the warm-up, he's a really strong guy, and we saw him wheeling past earlier, and you're kind of envious of the muscles that he's got, aren't you?
Yeah, never a gym far away for Gustavo. He loves it. Lots of Argentinian steak swallowed, I think, to get that big. He is massive. He's great. He's flamboyant. Flying Fernandez, he was deemed, won Wimbledon. Throws himself headlong around the court. Take no prisoners kind of game style as well. Always exciting to watch. Utterly committed. And you'd want him on your team, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. The way he's just able to bring so much power, and it's incredible the racket head speed that he's able to generate, and you get to thinking that these two are going to be the one who's going to look to dominate the match.
Very nice. So the opening game secured by the Argentine then. A secure service hold. That's always a relief, isn't it, Anna? Just to get that first game under your belt and settle down.
You always want to just have a comfortable service hold if you can get it. Good few first serves there for Gustavo Fernandez, which is always what you want. And now they can really look to put pressure on. By the looks of it, the Stefan Houdet serve here.
Yeah, and Stefan, it's quite a quirky makeup, isn't it? The layup of his chair, his sports chair, he manages to sort of get pretty high up with the way that he's assembled in it. And really rip down serves from quite a height, the experienced Frenchman.
It is interesting with the setup that they have. Some players are slightly lower in the chair, others are slightly higher, depending on what they prefer. And like you said, Stefan Houdet's a little bit higher, so it might help him with the serve.
Well, a rare double fault. Perhaps just some early nerves, just settling down for the veteran Frenchman. 50 years of age now. Still ranked 6th in singles, 3rd in doubles in the world. Oh, that was nice. Lovely slider wide. Took all the pace off there. And what a way to respond to a double fault prior with an ace. It's the 3rd year that the Queen's Club tournament has hosted a wheelchair tennis event. 2018, of course, was an exhibition event won by Stefan Olsson in singles. Wow, glorious return off the backhand from Gustavo. He ripped that one down the line.
Another prime example of just the amount of power that he's able to generate in an early break already.
Yep, Tomek Brink to serve at 2-love now then. Heady lead for these two.
That was a better point there from Bailey and Houdet. Just got to make sure early on here that they don't get overpowered by Egbrink and Fernandez.
And there is a lot of power that top end of your picture, isn't it? There's that team, the Argentinian-Dutch combo, are very, very power laden.
It's that pressure that they're able to create just by that consistent power.
Well, another game. Tom Egbrink holds, and well, they have just screeched out of the starting blocks here, these two, the second seeds, with a heady 3-love lead already.
It's been a pretty good start for them, hasn't it? They're just showing their class out here. Maybe the pairing of Houdet and Bailey are just trying to find their feet. Like you said, they're playing together for the first time, so it can always be a little bit tricky. So they've just got to find their way into this match. Just crucial that they get their first game on the board and then they can relax a little bit into it.
But it's interesting now because Dermot Bailey, the next to serve, the left-handed British athlete, and he's the only player not to have won a Grand Slam title yet. I'm sure there's a lot to come in his future, but he's amongst three very decorated, very experienced doubles players, Anna, and that in itself is quite a lot of pressure, isn't it, indirectly? Tough moment for the young left-hander. It'll be interesting to see how he responds.
Absolutely. There probably are a few nerves. Like you said, all the other three guys are pretty decorated in the singles and the doubles, so he'll want to get that first service game under his belt.
Always a plus having a lefty on the side, though, isn't it? Different swing trajectory that the ball offers to the returner. That's a wonderful response from the server. Really well done. You'd imagine, Anna, that a lot of the traffic will be directed towards the British athlete. They'll probably try and keep Stéphane Houdet out of the game as much as they can.
You would think so. I think they know that Houdet is pretty crafty out there. But I think they can use this lefty serve. Like you said, having that combination between the righty and the lefty, always giving the returner something different to look at.
Still a little tight, playing alongside the great Frenchman. Always difficult, I would imagine, you know, when you're playing in such high-level company.
Didn't look too nervous on that backhand,
no, he
did he?
Didn't he? That was, yeah, furious strike. Really well done. Houdet, of course, the man on the right there. He's a two-time Paralympic medal, men's doubles gold medalist, Beijing and Rio. And a London men's doubles bronze medalist as well. So he has just done just about everything in the game, the Frenchman. Seemed a little rush there between first and second serve.
Didn't really take his time, did he? It's crucial that if you are feeling a bit nervous, you've got to just relax. Just take your time and breathe. Make sure he doesn't rush it here.
Oh, very nicely done by Gustavo Fernandez. He was quick up to that drop shot. Of course, you get the two bounces, but he was there like a flash. And of course, we've rigged just one camera up on the indoor court too here. It's difficult to hear the umpire at times and the lines calls and the scores, but we'll keep you aware as much as we can of what's going on. That's a gorgeous touch from Egbrink. Really nice. He's built like a bull, but he's got feathery touch around the net.
It was such a good transition from the point. They were in defence, and then he somehow managed to get that deep return, turn the point around, and like you said, silky hands to finish that with the drop shot.
Didn't miss by much.
One of those where you hit it off the frame and you're just praying that it goes in. But luckily for Dermot Bailey, it just snuck wide.
That's the second double fault this game, and still riddled with a little tension. Though we have seen some blistering brilliance to back up. Now, can he find a way through this tricky game? Always tough when it bobbles off the top of the net cord.
It does. A little bit of just needed to get up to that one a little bit quicker. Just a couple of sloppy errors are costing them out here.
So another break point for 4-love. Well, that's a wounder for Dermot Bailey, who looked so secure at times in that game, but of course a hat-trick of double faults are not going to help anybody on serve, and that's a shame because he actually showed some real good signs of dominance during that game. But it's the Argentine-Dutch combo here who are doing all right.
They are doing pretty well. They've just got to cut out these errors, the French and English pairing. Giving Fernandez and Egbrink far too many unforced errors, not making them work for it too much.
I just think, you know, like we touched on it at the top of the programme, and I think it's really tough to settle here. I really do. They've been practicing on grass the last couple of days. The weather's been glorious. They've come indoors, and they're all unsettled. It's tricky. We saw Fernandez practicing earlier, but I don't know if I saw the other team practicing in here. I don't know. And it always takes a little while to settle and get your timing.
Especially if you're a scratch pairing as well.
Quite.
You've got that added pressure.
Well, no luxury of challenge here. This was all assembled rather late, of course, after the doubles draw was done just an hour or so ago. But isn't it great to have indoor backup on a rainy day outside? Scoreboard pressure weighing heavy on the Houdet Bailey shoulders right now, seemingly. Oh, that's glorious. We've seen the odd sprinkling of that, haven't we?
We have, especially on the backhand side. A couple of great backhand strikes, and then he's used the backhand volley. Did so well to come inside and just cut it nicely into the space.
Superb from Houdet. You know, once he gets involved that it's pretty terminal for the opponents generally. But there was a blistering backhand from the left-handed Brit in that point. That was really, really good. Now, if you're Houdet, what are you saying to your partner Bailey at this stage? Because he's obviously struggling, isn't he? Are you just saying, come on, just relax, have a swing, we'll just have some fun here? Nothing to lose, right?
No, exactly. It's tough trying to find that balance as a partner, isn't it? You've got to try and keep them positive, but not tell them to relax too much.
So back to deuce we go. Fernandez well aware that they want to get a stranglehold over their opponents and not really let go, frankly. That's a glorious return from the French veteran. Just knows, doesn't he, those nuances of where to put the return to trouble the serving duo most. Just overpressed it. Didn't have enough court to hit that hard with. And Gustavo Fernandez succumbs on his second service game. So the score stands at 4-1 to Fernandez and Egberink at the moment, as they will shortly be wheeling around the umpire's chair. But it's this, Anna, that brought me to wheelchair tennis. I love the doubles dynamic. It was just, the first time I ever watched it was Wimbledon years ago. And I really, really fell in love with it because it's so fast, it's so inspiring, it's just so dynamic. And the angles these guys can create. And I remember Judy Murray saying years ago that it was about, basically, you know, when she got into a wheelchair, she was just so in awe of how the guys do it. She said it's like riding a bike and playing chess at the same time. I guess that's I've not tried it. Have you, in a chair?
I actually have.
Have you?
Yeah, I have tried it. I tried it a few months ago with one of the British players, Lauren Jones. And I was just, you know, I have so much respect for these guys because I really couldn't do it. I really struggled to actually get to the ball, hit the ball back, recover. So it's so impressive. And the athleticism that these guys have is just phenomenal. And obviously, I think probably one of the first doubles pairs I watched was Alfie and Gordon. I mean, the success they've had is phenomenal, but you know, watching them play is amazing. Like you said, the athleticism, the aggression, the way they can just throw themselves around, it's fantastic.
It was Houdet who won his third Roland Garros men's singles title last Monday in Paris. Did the double as well, didn't he? Winning the men's doubles Grand Slam with Gordon Reid as well. Second time they've done the double sweep together.
I believe they followed it up with some success in the French Riviera as well.
That's right. What, isn't it? Or Bio it's called, isn't it? The Mouratoglou Academy venue. Yeah. Well, a lot of these games are very closely contested, but the majority of them are being won by the pair at the top of your picture. Can Houdet hold on here at 30 all? Oh, that's glorious from the Dutchman. Super angle there. Manipulated his chair into the idyllic position around the ball to give that the red line treatment. Now, if Houdet loses here, they might become a speck in the rear-view mirror of their opponents if it goes 1-5. It's a big point. Super play from Gustavo Fernandez, who bulldozed his way through another return game with effect. So they're now leading 5-1 in this opening set, and they'll get an opportunity to serve it out here with Tom Egberink to get the honours.
Not the way he would have wanted to start, with a double fault.
Oh yes, a thunderous dispatch from Gustavo Fernandez there. They're playing very dictatorial doubles, aren't they? They look just so confident, but I guess that's what happens once you're liberated by the scoreline. You can go after it more. Two points away from the set now. Ouch. Another clunky forehand hit from Egberink. He's timing the ball off that wing really well, and that practice that occurred just over on the court to the left as we look between the pairing at the top as they're serving for this set really seems to have paid dividends. Set point. Second set point for Tom Egberink. Yeah, the back behind from Fernandez. He saw Dermot Bailey go for the cross. And they secure the set, do Egberink and Fernandez, in 35 minutes. Really good, solid showing. 6-1 then. The second seeds march to the front in this first of our two double semi-finals.
Such an impressive set. And like you said, from the number 2 seeds here, just seem to be overpowering them. And just the fact that they're able to open the court a little bit better, more clinical on those break points, taking 3 out of 4. And Houdet and Bailey just taking the 1 out of the 2. Struggling a little bit on the serve as well, with those 5 double faults, costly, especially in that Dermot Bailey service game. But they've just got to regroup here. This is a fresh start. And there were signs that they were getting better as well, just weren't quite able to turn those into games.
Yeah, it can often look lopsided, can't they, the numbers? They were in that set for sure, but as you're implying, they didn't win any of the big points, did they? The Franco-Anglo combo between the two of them. But I guess, as we said coming in, it's always difficult when you've not played with a partner before, scratch pairing, and and Dermot Bailey, you sense, will settle. It was a good game, the game in a way, that when he lost his serve, but there was just the 3 double faults, wasn't there? Although he's hitting the ball well off the floor, but just couldn't sort of string it together. I guess that'll come when he relaxes a little bit more alongside Stefan.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you got the sense that there was that period of a couple of games in the middle of that first set where you felt if they'd have got it a little bit 4-2, you know, things could have changed. And then all of a sudden, Fernandez and Egbrink suddenly relaxed into it. And especially those last 2 games, they used their power. They were able to open up the court. It was just a little bit too much.
Right, we've seen the set stats now. We can move that to one side, hopefully. Well, it's troubling him, isn't it, his serve rhythm, and yet at times he looks so fluid with it.
Just doesn't quite look like he's reaching up to it. Looks like he's just coming down on it a little bit too much.
And I guess what would you do if you were coaching him? Trying to keep his tossing arm up just a little longer to keep that sort of angle, head and chest up?
Probably just tell him to brush up the back of the ball a little bit more. Just think about getting a little bit more height over that net. Probably rather see him make a few more mistakes long than you would in the net.
Well, I like the fact as well, Anna, that he's gone for the towel and sort of stepped off stage a little bit to give himself a little downtime to think. This is good from Dermot Bailey. He'll serve when he's ready. I like that. Well, from the man with the best credentials on the court, that's not what we expect. Stefan Houdet, who's not been as involved as he probably wouldn't have wanted to there, with an errant off the backhand wing. So it's another break of serve in favour of the second seeds. Egbrink and Fernandez can do very little wrong right now, and they're keen just to get on with proceedings pretty quickly. It's only a 4-man draw, so these guys will be through to the finals if they can put a lid on this set. That'll of course be on Sunday, so they can all focus on their singles tomorrow. And they look pretty intent on doing that right now. And of course, if you are just joining us, welcome along to Anna Smith and Paul Hand here at Queen's Club. It's pouring down with rain outside, so we've been forced to play indoors. Just got that consistent weight and arc on his ball, hasn't he? That looks like he can play high percentage with pace and spin at the same time, Fernandez.
And attacking through that middle as well, especially when you're a scratch pair. That communication can sometimes be an issue. And you've already seen a couple of times they haven't quite known who's going to go for it.
Fernandez just a little gung-ho there. Too much power.
You don't blame him though, do you, after how successful he's been with the forehand so far throughout this match?
Lovely serve from Tom Egbrink.
Such a smart thing to go into the body. So hard to get out of the way of it.
It's a very strong service hold to 15 from the Dutchman. And the second seeds are on a mission. Can Stefan Houdet throw a spanner in the works and just detain them for a little longer? Needs to hold on here. Sometimes, Anna, when you're struggling against the scoreboard, it's so easy to overpress, isn't it?
It really is. You've got to find that balance between still wanting to be aggressive, but again, they're just throwing in those double faults and unforced errors, and with a confident pair like Egbrink and Fernandez, you just can't afford to do that.
I really like that slider wide from Stefan Houdet, though. When you love 30 down, the last thing you want to do is loosen your wrist and carve around the side of the ball, but that takes a lot of confidence. Well done.
It's clever though from Houdet. I felt like, I don't know about you, but a sense that he was trying to mix up the pace, maybe throw in a few slower balls as well, just to try and get them out of their rhythm a little bit.
2 more break points here for the second seeds. Egbrink will get the luxury of looking at a second serve from Houdet to return. Best rally of the match. Brilliant. The English-French combination, they're just holding on for dear life. They've got to be really careful here. The alarm bells will be ringing. They're under so much scoreboard pressure, and they fended off one of the 2 break points. Can they hold on and save this one as well? Houdet down to a second serve. Well, he sits there motionless, almost in disbelief. Just can't get into this match. Perhaps it is that they've come indoors. They'll be grateful for the opportunity to just crack on with the tournament, but not playing like this. Houdet wheels around the net in forlorn fashion. Not much communication going on between the two of them right now, but in the other side of the umpire's chair, absolute delight. A set and 3 love up are the second seeds. Fernandez and Egbrink playing some really good ball, and they've done a good job. They just haven't let their opponents into the match, have they?
Not at all. They've pretty much been relentless from the first point, mixing between that big hitting and something that Houdet and Bailey haven't necessarily been doing, getting a little bit of width, opening up the court. I think Bailey and Houdet have been too careful in terms of their placement. Got to go after it a little bit more. They've got to try and mix something up, especially at set and 3 love down. You've got to think, what can we do to change it? Otherwise, this match is going to be over pretty quickly.
And this is kind of akin to COVID times, isn't it? Where there's just been no sweet symphony of any sort of crowd. Obviously, you know, it's quiet, it's indoors. So these guys are used to this in the current climate, aren't they? It's very quiet now. Can the underdogs find a way back into this? Stefan Houdet is taking a bit of a drubbing here with his English partner. Fernandez to serve at set and 3 love. Just a little too big with that one. Ran out of court, did Bailey. I often wonder, Anna, when the racket clunks against the rim,
Have you ever seen the racket break doing that? You often wonder, don't you? Because they really do clatter it in follow-through after the serve.
Especially with Fernandez's muscles, that racket probably takes a bit of a beating.
Yeah, he's like the South American Popeye, isn't he? When you see him in the flesh, it's quite something. It's rather like Rafael Nadal as well, isn't it? Shame he's pulled out of Wimbledon. That is a real loss. And Queens, of course.
And the Olympics as well.
Yeah, yeah. Federer's not looking great either, is he? Having lost early in Halle as well. Opportunity for the new guard, though, right?
You'd think so. Unfortunately, they've still got to beat a certain Mr. Djokovic, who's looking in pretty mean form, isn't he? So it's going to be tough.
So 3 points for a set 4-1 advantage then for the South American server here. Just perhaps a little greedy there, but he's got wriggle room. That is just gorgeous from Gustavo Fernandez and Tom Egbrink. They have got their foot to the floor out here, and they really are taking no prisoners. It's been mercenary from them, and I guess you could say that their opponents have kind of underperformed, being a relatively scratch pairing. It's been difficult. They've been up against it. The second seeds proving just far too strong at the moment. Oh, another ripper from Fernandez. He loves it, doesn't he? He's so strong off of both wings.
I think he's actually been hitting the ball progressively harder and harder as the match has gone on. Yeah. His timing seems to have got better and better. He's just able to hit through the pairing of Bailey and Houdet.
Nice response from Dermot Bailey.
Having some success with those wide serves, aren't they? Both on the Bailey and Houdet serve. Maybe it's something they should have looked to use a little bit earlier and more of.
Yeah, you said that, didn't you? Spread the court with a little bit more angle. I'm with you.
Again, just another simple error in the rally. Just can't afford to do those anymore.
Yeah, it's just struggling with his consistency, isn't he, Dermot Bailey, throughout, really. Oh, that's only just missed as well. It's just the curse on some days, isn't it, as a pro athlete? You know, some days it just will not go for you. But you've just got to find a way of getting the ball in and going back to basics. Perhaps a little higher, a bit more spin, cross court, big targets.
He has shown flashes of brilliance, hasn't he, today? So we know that he's got it, but it's all about stringing those points along.
Well, that's another break of the Bailey serve. That's he's yet to hold in this match. Unfortunately, from his perspective, second seeds motoring on a mission. Egbrink and Fernandez set in 5 love now. They might get this done inside an hour, you know. Been out there for just inside 50 minutes. The first set was a 25-minute affair, 6 games to 1. So will it be Tom Egbrink, who's been so solid alongside Gustavo Fernandez, to seal and secure this win and eke a way through to Sunday's final here plenty of power on tap, hasn't he? Just finding the court that little bit more often.
Absolutely. If he can just find a way to harness that backhand, like you said, he's got unlimited power.
I think Houdet as well has sort of felt that he's got to really be immaculate on a tricky day, and that's kind of pressured him as well.
It's tough though, they probably haven't had the chance to practice together. It's hard finding that chemistry when you go straight onto the court.
Ouch. Egberink, the Flying Dutchman there, that was really quite something, wasn't it?
Absolutely, I think he managed to get some sort of cheeky side spin on that forehand, but
there was some hang time out of the chair almost there, wasn't there? He just seemed to leap up in the air. Here we go then, 2 match points. Well, that is a blissful way to finish as the second seeds, Tom Egberink and Gustavo Fernandez, secure victory then in this opening men's doubles semi-final here from the Queen's Club. It's fist bumps all round. And the second seeds motor through to the final of the men's doubles in the wheelchair event on Sunday. That will go down as a very good result, just yielding the solitary 1 game today. Fernandez, Egberink, what a performance that was.
it really was. From that first ball, they just did not let up, did they? First serves, pretty high percentage. And the first serve percentage won. If you look at that second serve, 66% for Egberink, down at the 14% for Bailey and Houdet. They just could not find a way to get into their service games. And when you can't hold serve, it makes life so hard. But Egberink and Fernandez have got to be so pleased with the way they played. And we're looking forward to that final on Sunday.
Yeah, I wonder who they're going to play there. So we're due our second match very shortly. We'll talk about that in a bit. But the real curse there at the bottom right-hand side of that graphic was the double faults, wasn't it, from both Houdet and Dermot Bailey. They just couldn't find the rhythm on the serve, and the return quality of the second seeds was outstanding on the day. And I think they really were up against it from the start, weren't they? And all credit to the second seeds for coming out and having that earlier practice, which we saw whilst we were waiting pre-match. And that really did stand them in good stead. Very professional. But tomorrow, for them, it'll be out on the grass again. It'll be quarterfinals and semi-finals we'll be bringing you from outside on the grass courts here at Queen's. We're awaiting the walk-on of our second doubles. That'll be between Alfie Hewett and Gordon Reid of Great Britain. And they'll be taking on Joachim Gerard and Stefan Olsson, Belgian-Swedish combination. So Hewett and Reid, of course, at the top of the men's doubles draw. And that, hopefully, will be imminently. So Gustavo's got his shirt off. Anna, I'm watching you. No, he's massive, isn't he? He's just a really bulky man, like he's just been living in the gym a lot.
He really is. I'm not quite sure the camera does him justice there, but like you said, he's such a big guy and he's so strong. Just got that sheer relentless pace. It's so hard to deal with,
isn't he? Oh, we just received some breaking news this second from behind the scenes. Unfortunately, there will be no second doubles semi-finals this afternoon due to a player withdrawal. So that means that the final this weekend will be between Tom Egberink and Gustavo Fernandez in doubles, and Joachim Gerard of Belgium and Stefan Olsson of Sweden. So the doubles winners, they were at Queen's Club here back in 2019. So it seems that the top seeds of Hewett and Reid have withdrawn from the men's doubles for reasons unbeknown to us. I'm sorry I can't inform you of that, but it is indeed Joachim Gerard and Stefan Olsson that gain a walkover through to the doubles final to play these guys still on the right of your screen, Gustavo Fernandez and Tom Egbrink. So that's breaking news, as a surprise to you as it is to us as well. So that's a real shame, but I guess that marks the end of our coverage today. And we're not sure what time play is starting tomorrow with all the weather situation that we've had here at Queen's. We've had a lot of rain on the Friday here. And so it's deemed to be normally a midday start. Whether they bring that forward, I don't know, but you'll have to keep your eye on the websites, the cinch website, and to get a feel for when we start. But I presume it'll be the same as always, that the Cinch Wheelchair Tennis Championships will start at midday on Saturday. From Anna Smith and Paul Hand, we'll bid you bye for now. Thanks for your company. Hope you enjoyed the action. See you tomorrow.